How's it going, everybody? My name is I Am Money, and I'm back. I'm so sorry it took me a while to get a video out to you guys, but I have been working, and once again we did lose someone at my job, so I'm usually the individual who covers all those extra hours, and that's what I've been doing. So again, I do apologize, but off to the big news. We've hit 2,000 subscribers, so I want to thank you guys big time for all the love and all the support thus far. So what I decided I was going to do is I took Donnie the Bomb's comment, and he said you should talk about your tattoos. So I figured I'd get all the photos and everything together, and I'd actually discuss that for my 2,000 subscriber video. And that's kind of the reason I didn't post, because it was going to take me a little while, and I had to get up really early just to get this done, because I'm fucking horrible when it comes down to editing. But now on to our tattoos, and we're going to go basically in order, and this is going to be top-notch classified information. I have stuff about my tattoos, although they're simple, a lot of people do not know about. So you guys are going to be like literally the first people to know about all this stuff. So the very first tattoo that I got was my battle patch, and I got that right after we came back from Iraq, and it says War Veteran Operation Iraqi Freedom, and this is by far the shittiest tattoo that I actually have. It's supposed to be my unit patch, which is 3rd ID, and they call it the broken TV. And if you look very closely at the detail, it's very, very shitty. This is not a prison tattoo. It was done by a professional. And the one thing a lot of people don't know, or wouldn't be able to know if you were in the military, it's backwards. Not because of the way the picture's taken, it's literally backwards. And I'll tell you guys the story behind how it ended up backwards. We went to Savannah to get some tattoos, and for most of us it was our very first tattoo. We go there and we couldn't decide what we wanted, but I said, you know, I want my battle patch on my right shoulder because I earned it and I love my unit. So we get there and I'm like, I want my battle patch, and the guy's like, what does it look like? And I'm like, damn, like, do the lines go this way or do the lines go that way? So there's like 4 or 5 of us, and we take a fucking vote, and of course like 4 out of the 5 of us vote the wrong way, and that's what I have on my fucking shoulder. And we get back to the base and they're like, hey, you got a tattoo, or you guys all went and got tattoos, you know, what'd you get? And I fucking pull down my shoulder, and everyone just starts laughing at me. And I'm like, what the fuck is so funny? And they're like, it's backwards, you fucking idiot. Like, why wouldn't you take the patch with you to go get your first tattoo? But it is what it is. I like it regardless. It doesn't matter. My second tattoo that I got was the Grim Reaper. And I got the Grim Reaper because I love the Grim Reaper. It doesn't really symbolize anything whatsoever. It's just a Grim Reaper that I really like. Actually, it's the only tattoo that I picked from something pre-made. So I went there, got it done. I got it all done at once. It's pretty cool. I don't know if you can tell, but it's from my stomach to the bottom of my nipple. It took about 3.5 hours to get done. I did it all at once. I was pretty amped, and it did hurt around the nipple area and some around the bottom portion of the stomach. But other than that, it was not all that bad. I liked it. Not that I'm in the pain, but it was tolerable. But 3.5 hours straight, I guess the guy was like, you know, you did pretty good. So it was only my second tattoo, so I was pretty proud of myself. So I got that done. And a little side note story, my friend, who is also in the army, who pretends to be such a badass, was getting the most simplest tattoo. And I don't even remember where it was, but it wasn't even a sensitive area. I swear it was just on his arm. The guy's like, hey, go take a little break. So we're like, we'll go check on our friend. This motherfucker's on the table sniffling like a little girl. He's got tears in his eyes and everything. My next tattoo is the $sign. And don't know why I got the $sign, because it doesn't really symbolize my name. It doesn't symbolize money or anything. After my first 2 tattoos, I literally just started getting tattoos for the sake of getting tattoos. So if I felt random or I wanted to do something, I'll just go get a random ass tattoo. It doesn't symbolize my name. Like I said, my nickname in the crew is not money whatsoever. We have a friend and his nickname is Money. So it just symbolizes, I guess, the fact that maybe I like money, but I don't know. I went to go visit my family in California with my sister to celebrate my cousin's birthday, and they all decided they were going to go get tattoos. So they decided to get these music symbols behind their ear or whatnot. And I was like, well, you guys are going, I might as well get something, and I'm not going to get no fucking music symbols behind my ear. So I said I wanted something really, really random. So I decided to get a $sign. And to this day, everyone argues with me that there's 2 fucking lines in between a dollar symbol. There are not. There's only one, man. There's only one. But it does make for good conversation in terms of dollar symbols. The next tattoo that I got, and these are separate tattoos, is the line with the scissors. And that actually does symbolize something. I've never told anyone what it symbolizes because it was more personal for me, but it's not super personal and it's somewhat embarrassing. But it actually represents an era. It doesn't represent suicide or anything. People think they do because the suicide is right on top, but I got that later on. It actually represents a lyric from Fall Out Boys. The ribbon around my wrist says do not open until Christmas. And that lyric is actually pretty important or pretty relevant to me because it represents a time frame in my life, and it's got more to do with, I guess, kind of a girl, kind of like that era. It was just like a fun era in my life, and that tattoo and that lyric represents that kind of era with that person during that little stretch of just having fun and just being fucking wild and crazy. I am more of a person who relates to the past with music, whereas you might smell something and say, oh, this reminds me of this time or era, or look at a photo and say, oh, I remember that. I'm more of the kind of person who will hear a song and say, oh man, I remember that era so vividly now. My next tattoo is We Are Rolling Suicide. I was in school, I was bored, and I said, you know what? I don't want to go to class. So instead of going to class, or to my next class, I ditched and went to fucking get a tattoo. Now, I don't really know if you could say you ditched community college. You don't have to go if you don't want to go. Hence, I failed like 3 classes. But We're Rolling Suicide is actually the beginning lyrics to Chop Suey by System of a Down. And I really love that song. And I actually do not know why I love that song or what it represents of that time frame. The only thing I can remember is when I first heard that song, it was on the radio and I was driving down the freeway. It was a nice day. And I was just like, man, I love this song. And ever since then, good conversation started, because if you read it, you say Rolling Suicide and you see the scissors in the line and you're like, oh, you're emo or some shit. And I'm like, no, one, I'm black. You can't be emo. It's against the fucking emo rules. And it's a fucking lyric to a song, and they're like, oh, what lyric to the song? And I hit on white women, so they're like, oh, I know that song. And if you're not listening to the song and you don't know it very well, you will never hear the beginning lyrics because he kind of whispers it. But that's all for me. Hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you guys again for 2,000 subscribers. I will catch you guys next time. I am Money out.
What was that at?